Good morning. It's Lynette from Panacea Ranch. How you guys doing today? I'm doing pretty good. I haven't been making videos recently because there was a death in the family. My brother passed away, but he was ready to go. And so we're glad he's not suffering anymore. And one of my sisters and I went to go visit him in April because we knew he wasn't going to be around much longer. And it's a really surreal feeling for me when people pass away, because life is shifting a little bit without their physical existence in this 3D world with me and my family. So I've been kind of spacey for a couple of weeks, or at least a week. And I just wanted to share a little bit about death. You know, death is a part of life. And I also believe that death is an illusion, because I believe that he's still with us in spirit, just not in a physical avatar anymore, you know. And I wanted to share with you, if I get the permissions to share these stories with you, then you'll be seeing this. And if not, I'm going to remake it. I might remake it anyway if I don't have time to tell you what I want to tell you by the time I get to the gym. But anyway, let's not prolong it. So one of my sisters was there when he was passing. And she called us, and me and my other sister, and we tried to video call, but it just didn't work between the two phones. And anyway, we got to hear what was going on and hear his children saying goodbye to him. And one of his sons got there just, you know, they were just asking him and begging him, please hold on until Ryan gets here. Please hold on until Ryan gets here. And Ryan got there and told him, it's me, Dad, it's Ryan, I'm here. You know, you can go now. And then he passed. And then his heart, you know, stopped, and his breath stopped and everything. And it was very emotional. And my one sister that was there, later on, she was sitting on the couch alone with one of his grandsons. You know, there was lots of people around, but they were the only ones sitting on the couch, kind of in the sidelines. And he asked her, he said, are you sad? And she said, yeah, I'm sad. And he says, are you holding it in? And she said, yeah, I think I am. She said, but you know what? He said, what? And she goes, he has 2 legs again. He's whole. He has 2 legs. Because my brother had a leg amputated. And he had a finger amputated. So she said, and he's got all his fingers. You know, and the little boy, his eyes brightened up, and he said, yeah, you're right. And then he told her, he says, you know, I have something in common with my dad today. And she said, well, what is that? And he says, when my dad was 8 years old, his grandpa passed away. And my grandpa passed away today, and I'm 8 years old. And then he ran off to his room. But to hear this story, how they connected and how they shared, and how was good, good came of it, because it is sad when your loved ones pass away, and we do miss them, and it's very, it's selfish of us to want them to stay here, but that's why my family, we bless each and every one that moves on, and we're happy for them, and we celebrate their life, and his celebration of life was so beautiful, and it's online, for those who missed the funeral, to be able to watch it, and they held it live, and I just thought that was so wonderful for those who couldn't be there, and each and every one of his kids got up and told stories about their dad, and the inspiration and the love that he was in their lives. And it was so beautiful, so beautiful. And there was lots of funny stories and laughter, because he did enjoy life, and he had a great sense of humor. And I really appreciate him in my life. When I was 2 years old, he nicknamed me Nettie before he went on his mission. And he was afraid that I wouldn't remember him when he returned from his mission in 2 years, but he came back, and by the time he moved back, we had moved to California, and so he moved back with us a little while, and he bought this really cool blue Mustang. I think it was like a 64 or something, and a 60 something. It was a really cool, one of those really cool Mustangs, and my sister that I live with, Becky, she got to drive that for her to get her driver's license to do her test. I'm so jealous. And then he met a really wonderful lady, young girl, Darlene, and they got married, and one of her nieces and I were flower girls, and we saw each other at the celebration of life this last weekend, and it was so nice to see her family and see so many family members that I haven't seen in so long, and to reconnect, and all of us tell stories, and they also videotaped. They had a mic up during, where everybody was eating and visiting, and people would get up and tell stories about their relationship with my brother, and it was really nice, and they had all kinds of photographs set up, and his hunting gear, and his gun, and his fishing stuff, and my brother, when he was young, him and his friends, they were throwing rocks at glass Coke bottles, and a piece of the glass flew up in my brother's eye, and my mom said he came home with his pupil hanging on his cheek, the top of his cheek, and they saved the eye, but they couldn't save his eyesight, so he's been blind in one eye for pretty much all his life, and but he could still outshoot any of his sons or friends when they went hunting, and he was a catcher, and a darn good catcher in baseball, and even with one eye, he played on 3 different teams when he was young, and he was just always playing ball or doing something, never sitting still. and being of service to people. And yeah, it was a wonderful celebration of life. And for those of you who have lost loved ones, my heart goes out to you. But like Esther Hicks says, that Abraham says, if we only knew how good it felt to cross over and go back to the oneness, we would never mourn their death. We would be exhilarated for them and be happy for them. And I feel like that's what my family has fostered in us, that the return to where we came is much more joyous than what we feel when they leave. And she says that we miss them because we miss how they made us feel, you know. And I'm glad that my brothers are together with my mom and dad. And I know that they're with me. And another thing I wanted to tell you, I almost forgot, was that one of my nephews, Mark, was there a day or two before my brother passed. And during that time, with all his kids, most of his kids and a lot of his grandkids were all around him, my brother and his wife told each other, professed their love and dedication to each other and their appreciation for each other in their life. You know, they each spoke to each other, and their children and their grandchildren got to witness that. They got to witness what true love is, and that love is the most important thing in life. Stop with your petty differences. Stop arguing about things that have happened in the past that just don't matter anymore, and love one another and forgive. You know, did they bicker at each other? Oh, heck yeah, they did. But it didn't wedge anything between them. It never caused any discord. It faded away before it turned into anything, because their love was much more than him being cold or her not being fast enough or whatever, you know. They didn't let that get to them. They let their love be stronger than that. So let your love be stronger than the little petty differences in life. It doesn't matter who did what. If it wasn't death-defying, let it go. Let it go. Move on. Grow. Grow with your loved ones. Let bygones be bygones. It's so much more important to love. Love is the most important thing in the world. Don't let anything get in the way of love. Communicate with each other. Drop the little things. Just learn to get along. And we can't do that if we're going to hold grudges against each other and be irritated by every little thing. When you're irritated, just stop, ground yourself, take a few breaths, and weigh out how important it is. Is it going to matter 100 years from now? Probably not. And it probably doesn't even matter anymore, except for you're holding on to it like a monkey with a banana that won't let go, or a pit bull with a toy that doesn't want to let go. I love you, and I hope this finds you peaceful and hopeful. Remember, find the good in everyone. Find the good in yourself. Love yourself. Be good to yourself. love others, be good to others. We could do this. We can. And I'm not saying you don't matter, because you do. I'm saying this because you matter. Because you feeling good, you being loved, is more important than anything. And you are loved. And by goodness, you better love yourself, okay? Because you're not going to be able to see the love, probably. Most people can't see the love unless they love themselves. I love you. Please subscribe and all that good stuff, okay? Bye now.